your emotions are not the problem, right? They're really not. They're a reaction. It's how we react to what we feel, how we treat ourselves, like what you were saying, that self-love and self-care, and whether we're going to judge that or we're going to say, okay, that's interesting.
Hello, and thank you for joining me here on Hope to Recharge podcast, the podcast that's designed to break the stigma around mental health and to create some hope and inspiration and give some practical tips to those that are struggling with mental health, whether it's from personal stories to break the stigma or some advice from professionals in the mental health community. Whether you are struggling with mental health on your own or you know a loved one that is struggling, we are here to support you and to create a community so you know you are not alone. The road to recovery can be difficult and challenging. At Hope to Recharge, we believe that in mental health, together is always better. I'm your host, Matana. Thank you for joining me here today. Today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.com. Are you looking for online therapy? Are you stuck at home like everyone else? High stress, high anxiety, worried about the future, trying to navigate everything, have a lot of worries, have a lot of emotional roller coaster rides up and down, just like me. BetterHelp.com is one phone call away, one Zoom call away, one text away. It's an online platform for therapy. It's so perfect for now, for coronavirus, for what people are going through now. We can reach out and get the perfect therapist that meets our needs. Don't wait. Check them out. See if you can find somebody. Don't struggle. They're so affordable. They are so affordable. You're sitting at home. Every therapist is working online now. Reach out and get help you need. If you are struggling, don't struggle in silence. I am so grateful that they are giving us 10% off the first month so you can get affordable access to therapy. Go to betterhelp.com/hope to recharge. betterhelp.com/hope to recharge. Start your wellness, get help, get support you need.
On this episode of the Hope to Recharge podcast, we welcome Sherianna Boyle. Sherianna is an international emotional detox coach and author of 8 books, including her most recent Emotional Detox and Emotional Detox for Anxiety. She's an adjunct psychology professor and founder of Emotional Detox Coaching, servicing clients of all ages, backgrounds, and abilities virtually worldwide. She's the co-founder of CleanseLife.com, which features her Cleanse Yoga virtual video collection, emotional detox courses, and corporate wellness. Sherianna is a featured expert on Simple Habit app and host of the Emotional Detox radio show on HealthyLife.net. You can check out a sample of Cleanse Yoga at SheriannaBoyle.com/cleanse-gift. And now our host of the Hope to Recharge podcast, Matana.
Hello, and thank you for joining me here. I'm here today with Sherianna Boyle. So appropriate for me. I was just telling her a few seconds before we started, I need a private session with her because she is all about emotional detox. And I feel like the world, and I'm saying me in general, I feel like I really need a detox. You know how we say sometimes, I need a detox from electronics. I need a detox from certain foods because I ate too much chocolate. I need a detox from my kids because I've been around them for so long for now. We need a detox. Sometimes our emotions are just bubbling up and they're surfacing, and we need to detox from the negative energy, from what's going on, to actually tune in order to release the negative energies that are coming up. This is what Sherianna does with her life. She teaches, she wrote a book on it, she has a podcast. She's all about emotional detoxing, which leads to happiness, which leads to clarity, which leads to being driven to do the right things, to be focused, to show up properly. So Sherianna, I know that everything is by divine. Nothing happens just because it happens. I was supposed to be here with you right here, right now, today, in the middle of the chaos in the world. The world is crying in pain. It's having an emotional breakdown, and so am I. And I don't know how to react. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to show up. I feel lost. I'm so happy you're going to help me today.
Yes, that's why I'm here. And I get it. I totally get it. In the beginning, I felt like it too. Yeah, I felt like, wow, what can I do, if anything, right, to support people? And then it just hit me. And I just thought, you do what you've been doing right along. And that is the emotional detox, which is it's 7 steps called cleanse. You just do it. And it's funny, I was about less than 24 hours ago. I got on social media and I said, I'm creating a circle and we're all going through an emotional detox and it's free. Whoever wants to come.
That's so nice.
I was getting emails all over the place. I spent my entire day. My poor mother was visiting and she's like, do you want to have lunch? And I'm like, I have like all these people that are in. It's tonight and I created this. I got to follow through now.
Right.
And so I literally spent my day sending out Zoom link and hi, how are you? And okay, come on. So we get together last night on Zoom and I'm looking at all these beautiful, desperate faces like what you're describing now, people that are just feeling heavy and lost, and we cleanse. I'm going to say what I said to them last night in the beginning of our cleanse session. And this is what helps. This is the mindset emotional detox is built on. There's only one emotion, and that is love. Everything else is a reaction.
Wow. What does that mean?
We're reconstructing. It means that everything, because, I'm in the field of psychology. I've been in it forever. We've been taught that there's this emotion, there's that emotion. But sometimes we can get so stuck in labeling that we actually interfere with our own healing and growth. And the way that really helped me when I went through my initial emotional detox, and then now I help other people, is I had to have that mindset. I had to say to myself, okay, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, like you just said, or lost or scared or stuck or whatever it is, okay, I'm in a reaction. Because there's only one emotion, and that's love. And that makes it very clear to me that something in me is coming up to be healed. When I say reaction, I'm talking about memories. So we have memories, not just memories of images in our mind of like our children when they were younger and so forth. But we have emotional memories. And some of these memories are of emotions that were never allowed to be processed. So just like food, if you don't process your emotions, then you're not going to get the nutrients from them, right? With food, we have to digest our food properly, and then we get what we need. With our emotions, we actually have to digest them. We have to process them fully. Most of us have been trained and taught to withhold, to control, to push through, and even sometimes mask it under I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes even being positive can be a way that we cover up, right? And manage our emotions. What cleansing does, the 7 steps in emotional detox, is basically acknowledging, okay, if I'm in a trigger, something's coming up in me to be healed. And I'm related to a whole genetic line. And we're all connected to a whole ancestry. A lot of what's showing up is emotional suppression. People don't want to be oppressed or suppressed. The challenge is you have to understand that emotions are not bad, it's the reactions. So some people react by violence, right? Some people react by people pleasing. Some people react by lecturing or blaming or whatever it is, judging. It's all reactions. Guilt is a reaction. I feel so guilty. That's a reaction. And why is it a reaction? Because you get absolutely no growth or expansion from that.
So when you say, I'm going to stop you because I want to go back to the first statement you said, because I want to understand this, because in mental health, we always talk about feeling our emotions. Emotions are meant to be felt, not overlooked. So when you say there's only one emotion and that's love, I don't understand that. Like, you mean the ultimate one, or the core of what we are is love, and that's what we need to come back to. And all the other emotions are reactions. They're not really the core.
I'll still use language of emotions just because people understand that a little bit better. I say there's only one emotion, love, because emotion from an energetic perspective is about inner movement inside of us. When we have an inner movement, which is vibration, which is what emotions are made of. They're made of vibration. They have a physical anatomy and then they have a non-physical anatomy. So they are really the connection between Eastern and Western philosophies, right? In this society, we tend to think about emotions, meaning we label them, we think about things. That's not feeling. Thinking is not feeling. When I say there's only one emotion, love, what I'm saying is it gives you an opportunity to understand that when you say to yourself, I'm overwhelmed, it's likely that your energy and your system, it's the pattern of movement is not fluid. When you say guilt, the pattern of movement is often very heavy and condensed. And that's why we get a little rounding of the shoulders and the head goes, it actually shapes your body. When you say things like frustrated, that's another pattern of movement. Emotions are energy in motion. Love is what gives us that full energy and motion and anything else above that. So when we talk on a vibrational level, I just don't think that they can be put on the same playing field. So the way that I work with emotional detox, that's a reaction, right? And we have different levels of reactivity. Some people, it's very minor and maybe they can move through it. Other people, they get stuck in it. So if we keep coming back to guilt, keep coming back to fear, there's a pattern there, right? So I'm going to say reactions are patterns. They're not emotions.
Wow. This is like a whole shift in a mindset and understanding. It's completely different. And there's also less judgmental in a way, right?
Exactly.
It's observation. It's noticing versus a state of being.
You're exactly right. You nailed it. Because we cannot heal with judgment. I can't say, oh, you're angry. You're sad. You're this. No. They're in a state of reactivity. And guess what? That's a really crappy place to be because I've been there too. We've all been there. We've all been in a state of reactivity, and that's where the compassion comes in. So yeah, I really believe that my mission is to, well, of course, to get as many people feeling again, and then to get people to be exposed and to experience what that love vibration feels like, because you can't ask people to be more loving and kinder if they don't know it.
Amen. Yes. And I'm like tearing up because wow, I have chills. I'll tell you why. Because this month on the podcast, we designated it to self-love, acceptance, and awareness. And I believe that no one can properly heal and get to true vibration of living joy, happiness, and healthy living mentally and physically if they don't love themselves. And it's the foundation. And if we don't feel love to ourselves, and when you say bring it back to the vibration of feeling, understanding what it is, that we can say, oh, that's what it feels like. Oh, that's what I need to get to. Then how the heck are we going to get us to heal from our reactivity to other people, and to send that vibration to come bounce back on us if we don't have it start within ourselves? And now I'm understanding that everything you're doing is in order to bring self-love first and acceptance. And that is the seed for everything else.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And the power of self-love and understanding the feeling and yearning for it and looking for it and not judging if it's not there, but understanding and not saying we're not worthy is the fundamental of life. And we lost it. I don't know. How did we lose it? How did we lose touch with this?
I think, again, in my point of view, is that's why I'm reframing everything with emotional detox, because I don't believe you can change things on old mindsets. So for me, it literally, when I went and taught it at a retreat center, the first emotional detox, and then there's emotional detox for anxiety, which is out now. I remember people saying, can you create like a dictionary of a glossary of, because you use such different things and I don't understand processing, not processing, unprocessed. For emotional detox for anxiety, I created a whole terminology because I realized, oh my gosh, they're right. Like I'm kind of speaking a different language here. I do believe that needs to happen. I think we need to be updated. As far as how did we get here? We got here by resisting our emotions.
By suppressing and not giving ourselves permission to feel or observe, just to move on.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been happening for a long time. I think it's been happening in our schools. I don't think we give time for emotional processing. I think in our workplace, everybody's eating in front of their computers and not really taking a lunch and working till late hours at night. Our children are not getting a recess. They're not getting outdoor. They're not in the communities as much. And this is all where we get emotional processing. I know we have this mentality that if you're not doing something, if you're not working, if you're not learning math or something,
you're wasting time.
That you're
useless. You're
not developing.
Right.
Yeah, you're not growing into a human being that's going to contribute to society. And what my mission is teaching people that's time for emotional processing, and their brains are going to retain more information, absorb it. They're going to go into a connection. And that's that space of love. I mean, last night when I ran the circle, I had everybody put in the chat group what they wanted to cleanse. As an example, I got everything, which I fully expecting. Overwhelm, fear, resentment, jealousy. Yeah, the whole 9 yards, right? By the end of the experience, people, this is the way it looked. So you picture all these people. Oh, I want so-and-so to meet so-and-so on Zoom. So-and-so is doing this. Oh, really? Oh, can you give me your number? I want to connect with you. Oh, and then this person is doing this. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, and now we've gotten the chat. Good for you. That's awesome. That is what it looks like to live in that love space. That's what's going to happen when we live in that space. People are going to want to celebrate you. You're going to want to celebrate you. Nobody's going to hold back. Everyone's going to be growing. No one's going to be feeling threatened, and no power thing. It's like a very small sample of what is possible here on earth.
Sherianna, before I get deep dive into a process of detox, I want the listeners to know how you got to here. Like what was the passion behind developing this detox systems, teaching it and being so passionate about it? What's your history with detox?
So Emotional Detox was my 7th book. Emotional Detox for Anxiety is the 8th one. I always say it took me 7 books to get to that book.
Wow.
Right. I mean, it really did. It took seven books to get me to that place of creating Emotional Detox. So it's just a lot of commitment, understanding. I'd written a book called Mantras Made Easy. Before that, I had a very solid mantra practice going on. And I understood energy from another level that I'd never experienced before. So Emotional Detox, I had pitched it and the publisher picked it up, and I'm researching and I'm writing and doing all that great stuff. And I'm on top of the world. And then I get hit with absolute devastation in my life, and something I did not see coming, something out of my control. So at that point, I had to say to the publisher, I can't write this book. I'm in crisis. My whole family's in crisis. They understood. They were wonderful. And then I took the time, and as I went through that journey, it was like fascinating in some ways because I got to watch how trauma impacts a body. So I did a lot of self-observation. Everything's different. I understand people so differently now. The way you walk around in the world, I can pick out someone who's in trauma like that now because I was there, and I know that walk, and I know that glazed look on their face, and I know what it's like to feel like you just want to break down in tears and you're just holding it together every step of the way. You're in such fear. And so when I was going through it, at the same time, I was thinking, oh my God, I got to make sure the detox has this and I got to make sure it has that, And so I'm kind of taking notes, and I really believe it was divinely channeled, filtered, whatever you want to say, through me, that these steps, and they just keep getting richer and deeper. And that's how I know it came from the divine, because it's not, I keep learning more and more and more and more about these same 7 steps.
Did you have any trauma growing up that led you to even want to understand emotions? What made you get into being very in tune with emotions, with mindset? You seem like a person that's really into positive energy, attracting it, understanding. What led you to it in your life?
Well, I always say the second half of my life was a breeze compared to my childhood, but I think spirituality, I was always that kind of kid that was drawn to spirituality. I remember getting, when I was 14 years old, going to church. I walked in the church, sat down and just started going to that church. And my mom said, "Do you know that's a Baptist church?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Oh, it is?" Because I was raised Catholic, right, but right. I was fortunate to have a mother who just was so open, just said, "Yeah, just so you know, you're going to a Baptist church." Okay, I guess I'm going to a Baptist church. And then I try another church, and then I have 3 daughters. And I remember one day saying, I said, "This summer, we're going to try a bunch of churches."
Wow. So you were really looking for something
I love the energy.
Yeah.
I love the energy, something about it. I love the energy and the vibration. I like to feel it. You don't have to be in a church, but I think I've just always been like this.
Mm-hmm. And when you wrote the book and you put together the 7 steps to detox, emotional detox, what was your gift to the world? What did you say? I'm going to gift the world X. What was it? What was the goal?
The goal was and is that I'm going to get a minimum of 1 million people feeling again, meaning 1 million people that have been exposed to this cleanse.
And that will be what for them? What will they experience when they're exposed?
So they can be in the atmosphere of love.
To return to love, you're saying. Go through the detox, that your destination is returning to feeling love and what love is.
I think, well, here's the thing. It already is there, but I think of it like a sauna. You know how you go in a sauna and you're like, this feels good, right? This is nice. It's really an atmosphere of where you're like, oh, okay. And the more we practice it, the stronger. It's an energy. It's a vibration. And you can call it love. Getting people exposed to that as much as I possibly can. How accessible can I make this for people and still, do what I need to do? So it's really about, that's my mission.
In terms of mental illness, do you believe that people can do the detox and heal certain part of mental illness when they are struggling in darkness and in sadness and fear?
I do. It does take more of a commitment. I'm not a licensed therapist. So I just got to be clear with that with people. However, I have a background. I'm a psychology professor, and I've been in the field of psychology and counseling. I used to work with children. I have people with mental illness that come to me, and I'm very clear. And I've had times where they have so much that I say to them, you need to get a counselor with me. Still come to me if you want to. That's your choice. But have a counselor, because I need to know we've got a few eyes on you. I need that support for you. So yes, I think sometimes you have to add a little extra support, and I'm willing to do that and be part of a team. It depends on the person. But I recently had someone I had that conversation with, and I said, I just feel ethically, I need to let you know that there are times I think you might want to consider this. As much as I love working with you, she says to me, I've been with 4 therapists and no one has brought me this far.
I totally agree. I
Yeah.
agree. But I'm very pro therapy. I am very pro therapy.
Yeah.
But there are certain things in the spiritual healing that just doesn't go that deep. It just doesn't bring out the energy. We work through trauma. We understand. It's a release of a lot of thoughts and understanding and maybe even evolving. But there's certain things that are so stuck that it has to be on an energy level. It can't be on a talk level.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And
so I think it's custom. It depends on the person.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And their level of commitment. Yeah.
Fascinating. So let's deep dive into the 7 steps. Is it written down somewhere that we can also put it in the show notes?
I don't have it written down, but I mean, I can type it in the chat if you want.
No, we don't have to do that.
Okay.
But if we can, is it on your website in a link that they can follow? Is it in the book?
It's in the book, Emotional Detox, and then Emotional Detox for Anxiety really has it laid out specifically. Emotional Detox gives that whole new perspective.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have to read it and go, oh my God, right? Emotional Detox for Anxiety is when after I started traveling around teaching and people were like, can you give me this? Can I get it? I need it. Can you lay this out step by? And I was like, okay. But again, it's in the perspective of anxiety, which I completely redefined. In that book, anxiety is defined as an emotion attempting to be processed, but can't because we won't let it. Anxiety is an emotion attempting to be processed, but can't.
So it's just it's just sitting here itching us,
we won't let
itching.
It. Yeah.
And it's like when you're nauseous and you don't want to throw up because you don't want to throw up, but it has to come out.
Yes. Yeah. So that's how that's defined in that book. So everything is going to be built around that definition. And then it's laid out the steps. So you have for panic disorder, you have for, social anxiety. Those things are generalized anxiety. Doesn't have to be diagnosed, of course. And those steps are laid out in that book. But so the first step is C for cleanse, and that is clear reactivity. So the first thing we do is we prepare your body in that first step. I always say it's like baking a cake. You got to do the prep, right? So we got to prep the body for an emotional cleanse, and that's called clear reactivity. The second step is L, which is looking inward. And here in this space are where I give an opportunity for you to experience how to feel an emotion without talking about it, analyzing, explaining, defending, or any of that.
Wow.
Because you have to address it. You can't just ignore. You have to address what's there.
Without talking.
I guide you through.
Wow.
Yeah. You repeat something. I give them a statement to repeat. And so then I teach them how to respond to that. The third step, because I had written a book on mantras, I knew there was going to be a mantra in there. And that is, that's when we introduce vibration through mantra.
Does everyone have their own mantra? Do they make up the mantra?
I have one mantra that I teach.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even realize when I picked the mantra, I knew it was powerful. And then after, when I was doing research for the second emotional detox for anxiety, I'm like, boy, did I nail that one. Like, had no clue. I mean, because I continued doing research and I'm like, oh my God, did I pick the right mantra? So that's a mantra. This could take you 10 minutes, by the way.
The mantra.
No, the 7 steps.
Oh, only 10 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
That's short.
Well, it's a practice. You're going to do it, but yeah.
So you're saying you teach it and then we take it home and then we do it when we're feeling
home,
something.
Baby. I mean, I could work with you right now. I mean, I could, if you want me to show you now or you want.
Yeah, let's do one. Let's do one.
I'm looking at the time. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it now.
Okay. So let's do one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you okay with it?
Of course.
Wow. I have to get vulnerable.
No, see, well, that's good.
No, but it's okay. It's okay. Let's go.
Well, you said in the beginning that you were feeling, I think I heard you say the word overwhelmed. Is that correct?
Yes. I would add a word, overwhelmed. A few words, overwhelmed, sad, down, confused.
Now, this is a snapshot. Obviously, when I work with someone one-on-one, we're in a 60-minute process here, right?
Right.
I just want to be clear about that. It's not like I'm like 10 minutes, you're done, you're out.
No, 100%. Right. You're saying when we get used to it, we can be in our car and be triggered. And then we can it's like any practice that we have, but just it's coming with us as a toolkit, and we can pull it out once we're used to it and we exercise it. Okay.
Exactly. So I'm not going to dig deeper.
Yeah. Understood.
Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the C. Okay. And you're going to sit up nice and tall. You're going to take 2 fingers, your 2 peace fingers, and right above your navel, you're going to go up about an inch and press. It's a small press. Then you're going to go to the left or the right of that for about an inch and press. And then go back in the middle and press. And then maybe go over to the left about an inch and press. So it's in that vicinity. And do it again. So you're going to press. You're going to press. And there's many ways to do this step 1. This isn't the only way. I'm just doing this one today. Now you're going to take 3 fingers on the back of your crown of your head. And you're going to do that. You're going to hold those 3 fingers on the back of your crown, and you're going to do those presses again on the lower, above the navel, about an inch. And you're going to press 1, you're going to press 2, right in the middle. You move the hand over an inch, and then you press 3. And then you're going to take that top hand and put it right in the crown. And you're going to take that right hand above the navel, and you're going to press 1, and you're going to press 2 in the middle. And you're going to bring it over an inch and 3. And then you're going to press the fingers on the forehead, and you're going to do a 1, and you're going to do 2, and you're going to do a 3, and then you're going to release. And you're going to roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Good. And then you're going to take your right ear to your right shoulder, and you're going to look over your shoulder for about 3 seconds. Bring your head back to center and receive the breath. Left ear, left shoulder. Look over the left shoulder. Head back to center. Receive the breath. And now you're going to repeat after me. How I feel in my body right now is. And now take an inhale and an exhale. And once again, how I feel in my body right now is. Inhale. And having this heaviness inside my chest now makes me feel. Repeat that. Having this
heaviness in my chest now makes me feel.
Inhale. Exhale. And when my chest feels tight.
When my chest feels tight.
It makes me feel.
It makes me feel.
Inhale. And exhale. Nice and slow. Take another breath. Inhale. And when I don't know what to do with this energy inside of me.
And when I don't know what to do with this energy inside me.
It makes me feel.
It makes me feel.
Inhale. And exhale. And when I pick up this energy in others or those around me.
And when I pick up this energy in others around me.
It makes me feel.
It makes me feel.
Inhale. And exhale. Having things feel in this way makes me feel.
Having feelings this way makes me feel.
Inhale. And when I can't contain or control the energy of others.
And when I can't contain or control energies of others.
It makes me feel.
It makes me feel.
Inhale. Exhale. And take another breath. So we're going to go to the third step. And I could keep playing there, but I'm going to say that we're going to hum that. When we do this mantra of hum, we are going to hum overwhelmed and sad and confused. And so I am saying, I'm seeing them as a reaction, not so much an emotion.
So when you say we're going to hum, what does that mean?
We're going to do it. We're going to do it right now. So first I got to get clear on what we're humming. And what I'm saying is we're going to do an inhale, and then we're going to make the sound. It sounds like hum vibration. When we do that, in this case, we are humming overwhelmed, sad, and confused. We'll talk about it after. Okay. So let's hum here. So we're going to inhale. Hum. Hum. And then breathe. Hum. Hum. And again, inhale. And one more. Inhale. Good. So now you just pause there for a minute and you just feel that vibration for a moment. And what you're doing is you're releasing here. And we're getting ready for the next step. When we feel overwhelmed, we feel overpowered. That's really what I'm feeling is coming up in regards to you, that when we feel overwhelmed, we feel overpowered. And that means that it gives a feeling of feeling like kind of buried, right? When we feel overpowered. And so in the visualization that we're moving towards, you created this hum mantra, then you're moving into an image now of, I'm going to say for you, success, what it would look like in your mind's eye. I'm going to say happy, healthy. I'm going to say unconcerned. So you would be somewhat neutral. This is just for the cleanse. And for whatever reason, I'm getting a triumph here. Everybody's different. So go in your mind's eye and pull up an image in your mind of triumph and victory and success. A feeling like, you know what, I made it, I did it. Like I'm feeling that feeling is looking to be developed in you. And so when you see that in nature, it could be like standing on the top of a mountain, like, yes, that kind of feeling. And now you're feeling it. And now you're going to repeat after me. I allow. And you're clear. You're clear you made it. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's no, did I make it?
Right. Yes.
Right? Yes. Like, really? There's none of that. Yeah. It's, yes, I did it. Yeah. I want you to feel that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I want you to say, I allow victory.
I allow victory.
I allow success.
I allow success.
I allow happy.
I allow happy.
I allow triumph.
I allow triumph.
I allow clarity.
I allow clarity.
I allow certainty.
I allow certainty.
And I allow free.
And I allow free.
Good. Take a breath. And then we go into the next step of the cleanse. We're in the E now, which is I am certain.
I am certain.
That a girl. I am clear.
I am clear.
I am triumph.
I am triumph.
I am success.
I am success.
I am certainty.
I am certainty.
I'm just going to say it. I'm unstoppable.
I am unstoppable.
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 That a girl. And and I'm strong.
I am strong.
And I'm free.
And I am free.
And then you take a breath. And that's it. That's all 7 steps.
I do very similar work with my EFT. Everybody knows, my audience know that my EFT practitioner, there is not one Monday morning that I don't meet with him. We meet on the phone and we do these mantras, the forgive, even though I still love and respect, I still admire. And then I am love. I am a vessel. I am receiving. I am ready to receive. I am power. I am whatever and I start my day like that, Yeah.
Yeah, it's very effective. The thing that I was picking up is, again, I felt like the overwhelm came from a place of feeling overpowered. That's what came clear to me. And that's how those statements came to be. So it's very, I don't know what I'm going to say for a person.
Yeah.
Right. Until I tap into it, and then it becomes more clear.
Right.
And that's with the confusion. I mean, of course, if we feel overpowered, that's going to create the confusion. That's going to, and sometimes, sadness can feel overpowering, right? And possibly what I was picking up on you as well is that you're also just picking up on what's going on in the world, like a lot of people are.
One of the things that when I was working with my practitioner yesterday, we went into old trauma of feeling unseen, unheard, not non-belonging. And I'm reacting to that. And my body is reacting and saying, no, I am not willing to let anybody struggle and suffer like I did, because it's so painful. And it's so awful. And I don't want to be the source of it. I don't want anybody to go through it. And I don't want to go through it again. So it was everything together. And I was like a melting pot of fear and trauma. And that's where the confusion came. Like, how do I quickly fix this? Because I'm a very reactive person. Oh, something's broken. Let's fix it. Versus feeling. Just feel it.
That's right.
And when we picked up on it, I'm like, and I started crying. I'm like, oh my God, that's it. That's it. And what you're saying, the overpower, I guess it's something that I'm suppressing so much that I can't look it in the face.
Well, you don't have to. We just addressed it.
Right. But it's so foreign to me that I understand that it's there because and this is one of the things that only energy can bring up and not talk therapy. This is exactly right. This is exactly what we were talking before.
It is, yeah.
Because we can be discussing in therapy for 10 years and I would never come with that word that would say, this is it.
Yeah, it really just cuts right to it. And again, everybody's so different. There's no one, even though we're using the same tools, I might have head in a different direction.
Right.
But I felt very strongly that the overwhelm was actually a way that you managed feeling overpowered, which a lot of people do, right? They manage feeling overpowered by being in a state of overwhelm. And I know that that's bizarre, but that's emotional detox thinking. I wasn't treating overwhelm as an emotion. I was treating it as a management style.
Nice.
Right. And so that's what we were releasing.
So now I'm supposed to feel like more relaxed, which my shoulders are more. I came in with tension in my chest, literally.
Well, I could feel it. That's why I brought it
right
in.
Right there, like a tension. And I feel like, when you're like in a hot, stuffy room and you go out to like brisk, where like in Boston, imagine brisk January and the air is clean.
Yeah.
You just feel that sunlight.
You feel it. Yeah. I mean, that's why I was saying this tightness in my chest now. I was picking it up on you.
Yeah. Wow. So powerful.
It is powerful.
And I'm sure when you do it, you go deeper inside.
I do.
Yeah. And you give more time to process. Right.
Well, sometimes a lot of things are happening at once, but I wanted to really give that example of how it would look in 10 minutes. I was kind of watching the clock at the same time.
Wow.
But, I mean, the main message for your audience is your emotions are not the problem, right? They're really not. They're a reaction. It's how we react to what we feel. And how we treat ourselves, like what you were saying, that self-love and self-care, and whether we're going to judge that or we're going to say, okay, that's interesting, right? I just heard myself say I'm feeling overwhelmed. I can look at it as, oh, okay, I'm overwhelmed. Or I can look at it as, something is coming up in me to be processed.
Right.
Right. And overwhelm might be the way I'm dealing with that.
Right. And that's okay.
That's okay. I mean, it's all okay. There's no, that's the other emotional detox. There's no bad emotion. They're all good so long as they're processed.
But originally you said the only emotion is love. So you're saying that's our north pole to aim to when we look at our emotional compass is always to get to love.
Yes. Well, everything's, I mean, love. That's all. That's the main emotion. That is the only emotion in my world. Everything else is a reaction. It's just how I know when to process. Mm-hmm. We have to know when do I process is just as important as processing.
So let's say I'm so afraid. I'm so frustrated. I'm so tired. I'm so angry. I'm so hurt. Mm-hmm. These are reactions.
These are reactions to not feeling.
To not feeling love or not feeling?
Not just preventing yourself from feeling.
Oh, in order for not feeling bad feelings, like to protect ourselves.
To protect yourself and to manage what's coming up to be felt. Because if I say I'm so frustrated, look at it this way, as if you're driving down the road and you got this nice big open lane and you're like, oh, this feels good. I got a nice ride, right? And it feels good and you're cruising. But if you said while you were driving, I'm so frustrated, what's going to happen to your hands on that wheel? Right?
Right. Yeah. Immediately.
You're going to get a traffic jam in your body.
Right.
Now you're leaving feeling.
Right.
And you're going into reacting.
Mm.
But the good news is you can go back to a state of feeling, which is love, a full state of feeling, not a state of non-resistance. That's really what it is. You can go back there in the blink of an eye.
Right.
But
when you notice it, but we have to notice.
But you have to notice it, and then you have to value emotional processing. And you have to know that something in you is coming up for you, not against you.
Nice.
And
So I just want to wrap this up. So for example, because I want to get clarity for myself and the audience. So I have an emotion. Let's say we're in a traffic jam and someone cuts us off and we're late to carpool. We're getting really upset, frustrated, angry, fear of being late. So we're saying these emotions, we're realizing it, and we're like, okay, I don't want to go into the clenching, I don't want to get a migraine, I don't want to get tense shoulders. What do we do when we're noticing, when we're talking to ourselves?
So if you're on your way, you want to just get to where you need to be safely. That's first step. That's not the time to break out the cleanse, right? In the car, right? Okay. So once you get your kids are dropped off and you go back in your car, you could take a moment and say to yourself, wow, I was just in a state of reactivity. I have two choices. I can drive on to the next place, or I can take a moment and I can move myself through these steps. Now, of course, the more you do it, the quicker it gets. I can cleanse in 5 minutes now, right?
Right.
And you don't have to go deep. You know, it doesn't have to be like at a very deep level every time. The most important part is your body is going to begin to know, oh, I know what she's up to. I know what's going on here. And it's going to get used to that. And it's going to work with you.
So if someone hurts your feelings and says something really nasty, so you don't go and attack back. You say, okay, I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling attacked. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to do this. I'm going to notice, and then I'm going to do the detox.
Sometimes it might be the next day. I'm going to be realistic. Sometimes we get hurt. Someone says something. We go on with the rest of our day. We go to sleep. We wake up. You sit down. I always say cleanse every day. Every day there's something. And I might sit down in my chair in the morning with my coffee with the intention to cleanse. And I think, and I sit and I say to myself, what am I going to cleanse? And all of a sudden that stinking incident comes in my head.
Yes.
And I think, okay, it's still with me. I need to cleanse it.
Oh, and I love this.
And then I release it. And you wouldn't believe how often that happens. That example you just gave. You wouldn't believe it. Or I might just ask, what is it that I need to, what's coming up? What keeps coming up in my mind? What can I not let go of? right? What's occupying space and jamming my inner energy? And that's what it is. And very often it's for me, I'm always, I find worrying about my kids will come up a lot or, something like that. I'll say, okay, I'll cleanse it. It has strengthened my relationship with my children so much, me going through this process. I'm closer with them. I am, not that we weren't close before, but they don't feel my reactivity.
Wow.
They want to be around me. They see me. I'm like, cracks me up. They see me as like this calm, I'm like, really? It's hard to even believe. Right. Because, but they do, it's just a different thing. They open up to me. They listen, they're respectful. Wasn't always like that because when we're in that space of reactivity, they feel it and they're like, get the heck away from me. Right? You are cramping me. I can't breathe around you. I can't move around you. You notice every move I make, When we're in that state of reactivity, we got to sit down and say, something is coming up. So, so daily practice, it's going to change your relationships.
Wow. I could see how it probably takes time to notice. First of all, to say, okay, notice your emotion, notice what's coming up and notice. And just by knowing that it's a reaction and not a judgment is already such a huge step.
Isn't that nice?
Huge.
Isn't it nice not saying, oh, I feel guilty. Oh, I feel this. Oh my God, I'm so sick of saying that stuff.
Right.
Oh, I'm in reactivity.
And understanding. And then you come from compassion and then you can deal with it and say, oh, I can take care of this and it's okay.
It's okay. It's a reaction.
Right. Wow. It's so empowering.
Yeah.
It's very empowering.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start really practicing this and asking my kids in a few months if they see a difference.
That's cute.
I'm very reactive. I must say I'm very reactive. I came a long way in life. I grew up in Israel. I'm very passionate. I'm a passionate person. And I was because for 18 years of my life, I was silenced and I was told to follow rules and no one wanted to hear my thoughts. When I felt free to speak, I was not shutting up. And then I was reacting out loud and strong to anyone that came near me.
Yeah. And that's where the overpowered came in today.
Right. And now for the last 10 years, I'm finding that balance, that reactivity is not healing. It's not. It's more damaging in a way when I react out of a place of fear or whatever versus noticing what I'm going through, having time, processing, and then reacting from a place of kindness and love and understanding.
And I just want to let you know, as we wrap this up, your audience know that I know there's a lot of reactivity, and I call that high levels of extreme reactivity, which is going on right now. The more we cultivate this inside of ourselves, the more people can feel it. And they don't know different if they can't feel it. Mm-hmm. We can tell them till they're blue in the face, but we really have to create it from a space of feeling. And then we can have these healthy, respectful, loving, compassionate conversations with each other and hold space for each other. But we really have to contribute. Our emotions contribute to that when we process them. We create an atmosphere. People can sense it. They can feel it and they calm down.
Yes.
Right. And that's our focus right now. And I do want people to know that on Cleanse Life, I have Sheriannaboyle.com where my books are. And I have CleanseLife.com, which is where we do our cleansing if anyone wants to come into a circle.
Oh, wow.
I would love to have you.
Oh, wait. So so the two websites is Sheriannaboyle.com.
Sheriannaboyle.com is where I do my privates and my coaching and all my books are there.
Right.
And then cleanselife.com is literally bringing the cleanse to life. So I have a yoga studio at cleanselife.com. It's, I do the cleanse in every yoga practice I teach.
Wow.
I know it's fun. I've been doing it for years. I don't know why it took me so long to get a yoga studio online, but so we have on-demand yoga and every time we go through an emotional cleanse. So you're moving your body and you're cleansing at the same time.
Wow.
And you're getting fit because I don't baby you. Because we need it. Our hearts need it, right?
Wow.
We need to be taking care of our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do a monthly cleanse circle, and that's on that cleanselife.com page.
Wow. I'm definitely going to join. I
would love to have you. I'll send you an invitation.
Yes. We're going to put all these links in the show notes. This sounds fascinating. And I could tell you from just experiencing what I came in and what I'm leaving is like I was carrying like this heavy load on my shoulder and I feel just loose. I just feel looser. And there's more compassion to me. Like I feel like I want to give myself a hug and say, Matana, it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Yeah. What you're feeling is okay. Tomorrow's another day. We'll do the cleansing again.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It was so healing and so refreshing. And I love, my audience knows that anything that has to do with energy, it's me. This weekend on May 29th was my 10th year anniversary to my first panic attack that led me to the hospital. And that was my beginning of my journey of understanding mental illness. And I knew nothing about it. And it went into deep depression, anxiety, debilitation, like horrible. The reason I started this podcast was to show people that there's different ways to heal. My big cocktail was a lot of yoga, meditation, and energy. A lot. I know my healers don't like when I call them healers. They're like, we're not healers. We facilitate with healing. But I call them my healing energy, like angels, because they really, there's something that I connect to from an energy level. I understand energy. I love energy. And I believe that it all comes from energy. And we are energy. So we have to work with what we are and understand ourselves. So anything that has to do with energy healing, I'm like the biggest advocate. So I am so honored to have had you. And thank you for taking me through that journey. It was really powerful. And I'm excited that my audience can tap into this. And another resource for their toolkit. We say we fill up our toolkit. So another resource. And I want to ask you a question before we leave that I ask everyone. What does hope mean to you?
Emotional connection is hope. Emotional freedom, emotional connection.
Nice. Thank you very, very much. Guys, if you think this can help anyone that is struggling with emotional, I would say it sounds like in my mind, I see when you say emotional detox, I keep on seeing pipelines that are stuff that need to come out. That's what I'm seeing in my mind.
Yes.
So if you know anybody that needs to just take it all out and understand it and process it with love and kindness, share this episode with them because you can save them. You can really save them and give them a gift for life that can take them anywhere. So Sherianna, thank you for joining me here. And everyone, check her work out and looking forward to hearing from you next time. Bye. Thank you for joining us and taking the time to listen. I really appreciate it. Please hit the subscribe button so you can hear further episodes. If you are listening to us on iTunes, please leave feedback and ratings below. Let us know if there's any topic that you would like to hear from us in the future. Bye till next time.